It's February 12th, day 24 of the Trump presidency. If you hear yip yapping in the background, that is my baby dog. It's very cute. He's very naughty. I feel like that's going to be the intro to my show. Just a long, exasperated sigh. So, unfortunately, a judge today approved Trump's plan to downsize the federal workforce. So, if you can recall, because there has been so much bullshit happening, he recently had given him and President Elon, gave a bunch of federal workers the option to resign with pay, a certain amount of pay. A judge has decided not to stand in the way of that. They're saying it's legal. Go ahead. So those people are out of a job, unfortunately. This is cute. The White House is, because people are starting to talk very openly about, is this a constitutional crisis? I'm going to have to say yes. In particular, because of this very tactic that is used by abusers. So the White House is saying that they're not responsible for the constitutional crisis. It's the judges that are trying to uphold the law and give them consequences. They're the ones that are causing a constitutional crisis. I've been in whole relationships like that, and I have learned my lesson. That's why I'm single. Anyways, it's literally like narcissism 101, and both Elon and Trump are narcissists, so it is in no way surprising that they're out here saying shit like this, but it is extremely deeply disturbing, and I fear for our country that if there's not enough people in the background that have the guts to do what is necessary, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary for those people. I don't know if they're going to do it. So you'll probably just hear me say that every single day. We're just going to wait and watch together and see what happens. Speaking of absolute, what is even the word, man? Real Housewives of the White House. You have to go look up this video because I will not be able to do it justice just by telling you this. Elon Musk's son, X, because Elon held that press conference in the Oval Office with Trump and he had his son there with him. Well, his son was caught on a hot mic first looking at Trump and saying, "You're not the president, you need to leave. Go watch it." And then he says, he tells him to shut his fucking mouth. He goes, "Shh, I need you to shut your fucking mouth." I'm dead ass serious. So a lot of people some people are like, well, someone's saying that to that kid. And a lot of other people are like, no, we think that Elon is probably saying that to Trump in front of that kid, which is why the kid is saying that to Trump. So that's fun, and it makes perfect sense. I think perhaps Putin got fed up with Trump trying to go his own way. So Putin hired a little assurance, a little bodyguard named Elon Musk to actually step in and complete the tasks that Trump is too senile and unpredictable to complete. So now we have President Elon, and Trump is just sitting there in the cuck chair watching. And literally, if you go watch those videos, I am not exaggerating. He looks dejected. He's like, his facial expressions when this kid is saying that shit to him, it's wild. Like, what? I am speechless that this is all reality, supposedly, you know? Again, if I were to wake up in the hospital tomorrow and a nurse came up to my bed and said, "Ma'am, you've been in a coma since 1985, I would be like, that absolutely tracks. That was absolutely all a fever dream. Totally makes sense. Trump has had a call with Putin to negotiate an end to the Ukraine war. He's negotiating directly with Putin, which is something that Biden would not have done. And it sounds like they're essentially going to leave Ukraine out of this, meaning Ukraine won't have a seat at the table when they're negotiating the end of this war. It also sounds like Ukraine has basically been told, like, any territory that was lost in this war, you're not getting it back. Or, Putin is saying, obviously, like, then the war is not going to end, right? In any case, obviously, we know Trump and Putin are besties. That's no secret. So I'm not surprised by this information. Again, it's just that this cascade of events that happens now that Trump is back in office is bad for the entire world. It just is. Pete Hegseth, the man that you certainly want making these kinds of decisions, is saying that Ukraine membership in NATO is unrealistic. It's not going to happen. So, again, we are becoming allies with the worst countries. Although I will say, I heard that Kim Jong-un is pissed at Trump about the shit he's saying about Palestine. And he is coming out against it and saying he won't stand for it. So I don't know what the fuck that means. But again, we are making nothing but enemies, and it's going to be a brutal, I would say 4 years. I just don't know what's going to happen here. Egg prices have hit an all-time high around $5. They're saying that the prices are likely to continue climbing. No one's shocked at that either, obviously. No one's going to do jack shit about the outbreak of measles that's happening, or the outbreak of tuberculosis that's happening, or the bird flu. I mean, everyone's just going to die. It's fine. Oh, so sad about this. I mean, I'm being sarcastic, but like, I don't know. I am sad about this because I'm sure they were doing good work. It's just like, what do you guys fucking expect? Christian aid groups around the country are completely collapsing because they were relying on the funds that USAID was giving them. Now that organization is locked out of its own funding. So yeah. I know a lot of people thought that the snake wouldn't bite them, because the snake said, oh, I'm not going to bite you. I'm just going to bite these other people. Well, this is a really hard fucking lesson for you. Welcome. Welcome to the truth about the world. If someone is treating other people like animals and dirt, they're going to do it to you. It's literally a matter of time. And that goes for everyone. That includes the white men. It includes the white men who think that they'll not be touched. You're wrong. They want to turn you into slaves. Unless you are making millions of dollars, and even millions of dollars is probably not enough. You're probably still not in their club. January has broken some global temperature records. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do about it. Not jack shit is what I have to offer in light of that. But I mean, you know what? It just sort of feels like one of those scenes in a movie where like you're like, the main character is like tied up in a chair in a dark room and there's like 7 people pointing guns at their heads. Like maybe, in those movies, they always miraculously get untied and they escape. But I don't know. 7 guns is a lot of guns. And I'm, gravely underestimating the number of guns we have pointed at our face right now. Speaking of annihilation and doom, there is an asteroid that has a 1 in 47 chance of hitting Earth in 2032. It's about 2.3% chance. That's pretty high. So you're saying maybe it'll all be over and we won't have to deal with this anymore. I don't know. I was like, they're talking about this, and I don't know if they're seeing it coming. I don't know if there's a way for them to stop it, or if we just let it hit us and say, fuck it. I don't know. Don't ask me. This is crazy. Trump and Elon Musk went into a private bank account owned by the city of New York and took $80 million in FEMA funds that had been granted to them by Congress back out of their fucking bank account. Literally, Trump and Elon Musk just stole $80 million from New York. Dead ass serious. Go look it up. So if you think they can't or they won't, you're absolutely incorrect. They will do literally whatever the fuck they want. And they are banking on who's going to stop them. So far, the answer is approximately no one. They are dismantling the Department of Education as we speak right now. Elon went in there with his team of 19-year-old dipshits today, and I don't know. I don't know if they just like walk in and start firing people. I don't know. But it sounds like they have a plan to have it completely dismantled within a matter of days. Again, is that illegal? Yes, absolutely. It's absolutely illegal. Is it going to stop them? No. I mean, could it stop them in the long run? A lot of this depends on the people that are working in these places and frankly, like how scared they are, you know? Like, are they going to push back? Are they going to try to stay? Or are they just going to let them do it? And Nazis and authoritarians rely on people feeling despair and not fighting back. And I mean, unfortunately, we are seeing that. We are seeing despair. We are seeing people not fighting back. So I don't know. We may not have a Department of Education as early as next week. Sorry, this is just like one supervillain headline after the other, but the House Republicans have released their budget resolution, and they have a plan to cut Medicaid by $880 billion. I told you, I mean, there were people, again, there's a lot of people that are like, they're not going to cut Medicare. They're not going to cut Medicaid. Watch them. They're telling you they're going to. And I think people that rely on these services, if I were you, I would assume you will not have that service and start trying to figure out what the fuck to do. I know that's a crazily tall order, and I understand that many people that are relying on these services don't have alternative options, but we needed to have mutual aid organizations set up a long time ago. I'm praying that doctors are going to come up with some sort of direct plan or something. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what is going to happen here, but it's going to be absolute fucking chaos. There was a TikTok of a woman who, honestly, she's probably right. She said she believes that they are trying to, God, how can I say this? Like, I don't know what I'm allowed to say on here and what I'm not. Let's put it this way. She said she believes this is an intentional way to dispatch people from this planet who are relying on these services. I don't think she's wrong. I don't think, even if it's not directly an intentional plan to allow them to die or cause them to die, kill them, I absolutely believe that they do not care if that's the result. They don't care at all. At all. All they care about is power and money. You're going to really see that I'm not exaggerating. They're also going to be cutting SNAP benefits by 20%. So again, do they care if children starve to death? Absolutely not. Loud and clear. We hear you loud and clear. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck if you can't afford your medicine. They don't give a fuck if you starve to death. And this is what people voted for. Well, again, did they? I don't think so. I don't believe that for a second. But we had so much apathy in this country that it's very tough to fight back against what is happening. And I understand it, but we're in between a rock and a hard place, and I don't think anyone's coming to save us. So we better figure something out real fucking quick. I do have one positive story for you. Elon Musk lost about a quarter of his net worth in the last 2 months. And that makes me really happy. 67% of his total net worth comes directly from Tesla, and Tesla has lost over a quarter of its worth in the last 2 months. as countries are boycotting that product. Like, people don't want fucking Teslas. They don't want to be associated with him. Also, I think I reported this a couple of days ago, Tesla has now been deemed to be the most dangerous car since the Ford Pinto, with the highest chance of exploding. They're not good cars anyways. Well, specifically, I think the Cybertruck. I don't know, maybe his other cars are okay. Although I feel like I've heard so many stories about them blowing up and people getting like stuck in them and like frying to death in the heat and just, I don't know. I can tell you one thing, I'm never buying a Tesla. If I ever could afford one, I wouldn't anyways. It makes me happy to see him get any kind of karma, and not that it matters because he still has $400 billion. But what matters is he cares so much about what people think about him. And I want him to know that he is hated worldwide. He is a loser, dude. A weird loser too. You should go watch the videos of him and Trump being absolute weird losers in the White House. It's gross. I hope his kid keeps telling Trump to shut the fuck up, honestly. I support that. I support that child's right to tell Trump to shut the fuck up. Do it. You're speaking for all of us. Anyways, that's all I have for you tonight. I hope nothing at all happens tomorrow. Can we get a motherfucking break? Can we have a day off? Speaking of which, I am not planning to take a day off, at least for the first 90 days of Trump's presidency. I will at some point, and you know what? Obviously, I can't predict what will happen if I get really sick or something with one of the many plagues that is going around, then maybe I will be forced to, but I'm not planning to take a day off because I think that these first 90 days are really important and I want to get you guys this information. After that, I'll reevaluate and figure out, like, maybe there'll be a day or two in the week where I don't post content, but for the time being, you can expect me to be here every evening around this time. Love you guys. Please hang in there. I don't know. Watch some stand-up comedy or something, you know? Eat some ice cream. See you tomorrow.